They call the place where the uterus and cervix used to be the vault, named by a man. Nobody goes in there to have a look at anything anymore unless they're invited for a good time. God, what a horrible name, right? I think it should be called the grove, the clearing, the garden.
Before even stepping into this space or, being asked to have this conversation, I probably could count the times on one hand that conversation has come up.
Not really, because I don't think I will reproduce in this lifetime.
The only time I really talk about it is when I have to do the pap smear that the government sends me a letter. I go, it's time. I talk about it with my friends if it comes back as abnormal, which it has done.
Not really. No, unfortunately not. I can discuss it sometimes with my friends, but with my folks it's a little bit of a different story because different culture and different expectations.
Our bodies change. For an older woman, a lot of things change. It might be whether it's dryness or the shape of the vulva or all of those things, they change. And sometimes you can go, whoa, what's happening?
Western culture is not very pro talking about the stuff in a way that doesn't dehumanize the subject. You compound that with Western kind of puritanical thinking alongside Eastern conservatism, and then you just nothing, there's no chance.
When something like what happened to me, you end up in a wheelchair, everything changes. There is a lack of information and there is a lot of bias as well.
A lot of my health problems revolve around my reproductive health section. I'll go to the doctor and I'll be like, I am still having pain. Is there something magical new device or new drug that I can try? And they're like, no. And I'm like, I wish you would legalize weed.
It feels like it's a subject that can only be spoken in biology science.
I get sent text messages from the doctor telling me my smear is due and I ignore them. I just didn't have a good relationship with my body and with those parts of me, and I had experiences which meant that touching those areas was traumatic and it brought up a lot of things.
I didn't know that I had endo for so long, pushed really, really hard and had to advocate really strongly for myself, and angry that doctors had let me go through this.
I have dated people with endo, and it makes me very, very angry that the medical system is so paternalistic. We have spent billions of dollars on boner pills, but we have no idea what endo is.
Knowing there is an organ that I'm not going to use that is causing me a significant amount of pain, and it was something that could be removed, but people were determined for it to not be removed, caused a lot of anger and frustration. Since having it removed, my quality of life has gone significantly up.
Where it would be important to learn more is if you have someone perhaps close to you going through that.
I still feel kind of angry that we don't know very much at all about menopause and no one's done any research. So it's just women's problems. It's just shh.
As an actor who has to learn a lot of lines, so I'm downloading an entire book of lines sometimes. Through menopause, my memory felt impaired. I'm actually saying, come on, Jennifer, I had to work 10 times harder. But if somebody had said, perhaps, when I was in my 30s or 40s, hey, look, this might happen. But it was kind of frightening for me at the time. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
What was hard when I had my hysterectomy is that no one really told me, and I was just kind of sent out into the world on my own, trying to connect with other people who'd been through the same. Try and not have a dry vagina.
I work in an office of a lot of menopausal women at the moment. A couple of the other guys in the office are like, oh God, I have to listen to this again. Whereas I'm like, how's it going today?
Make abortion access easier. It's so horrible. What kind of outdated, archaic shit is that? Anyone should be able to determine what they want to do with their body.
I'm sorry, America? What the fuck?
There is a huge gap of understanding for healthcare professionals on what to do if their patient is queer, trans, non-binary. Every single person I interacted with in the system just was not considerate of the ways in which I might be different. That can have a real effect on your mental health.
I go to the trans specialist queer medical practice in Auckland, and they are of course super chill and great, and I've just never had any problems or weirdness around them treating a man who has a cunt and a cervix.
As I learned a little bit more about the experiences of like a trans whānau, intersex whānau, is something I wish that was presented to me earlier, that actually expands your own social conscious of what's possible.
Just throwing out the kind of normative shit that we inherited, the health of a uterus, the health of a prostate, but they don't have to be women's health, men's health. Medical practitioners need to be able to take gender out of the conversation.
I wish I knew more about PCOS. If we knew about it more, I think we were able to understand it if somebody had it, say, in your work setting or like friend setting. Because I say PCOS only because like it's on social media now. And that's actually the way I learned about it. Okay, social media, come through, education platform.
I definitely talk very openly about not wanting to have kids and struggling with PCOS because it does cause a lot of weight gain. Gaining weight's also stigmatized so much, and it's very easy for people to think, oh, that woman's lazy and that's why they're fat, but you have no idea what they're going through.
Condoms, is it IUD, is it birth control, all that kind of stuff, and what's the availability of male contraception? Is it going to happen in the next couple of years? I don't know.
How can men kind of like get on an equal playing field as well in terms of things we can take or do? Because it seems very weighted towards women, and it's like their responsibility to get themselves sorted. It'd be nice if there was a difference in that. It's always seemed like this really big unfair hassle.
Yeah, my life revolves around reproductive health. My own journey with ovarian cancer, and the 5 cancers are, there's vaginal, vulval, uterine, cervical, and vaginal. Or did I say, ovarian? Forgot the one I had. Yes. Well, if you notice any changes to your body, go to see your doctor. It might be all fine, but it might not. Take a friend if you feel nervous. Being in pain and discomfort is not normal, and you deserve to have things looked into. If you're feeling nervous about advocating for yourself, contact Talk Peach or Endometriosis New Zealand. Everyone deserves to feel comfortable in their sex life, physically, mentally.